been such a great change in my life. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Suga CRAVE Show. Man, what an amazing week. Thank you so much for the welcome backs. It feels good to be back finally. It's been a good freaking week. Oh my God, I'm fucking just hitting this microphone. All right. It was a good week. No, it's been a great week. Just like getting back to the rhythm. It just feels good to finally be where I've always wanted to be at, but still continuously working. And so it's just been great. I forgot on the last podcast to kind of give a little update about myself. I did give a little health update. I'm doing better now. I'm still recovering from the stomach infection, but I'm working at an incredible company called Design Sound, and I manage one of the studios. And as you can see in the back, it's been freaking amazing. Just the whole being part of running a studio, a rehearsal space, and seeing artists come in and clients using the space in such a creative way that I would never have thought of even thinking to be capable of. And it's just like, it's so cool when you hit like a goal or achievement in your career. At least for me with music, I always think it's like, okay, if like, don't get me wrong, the ultimate one, it was like being like a full-time producer and getting 10 Grammys, right? It's no longer that for me. Honestly, like, if I'm having to do music to survive, I would lose that passion or that thrive to do so immediately, because it's just like, it's not, I mean, I love making music, but when I was forced to make music, I looked at it differently. I looked at it in a business way. I looked at it in a not in a creative way at all. I was just like, okay, what's the least amount of time that I can get this project done so I can get the most out of my, the most profit, right? And so being able to alleviate that from making music to, running a studio, it's been such a great change in my life, because, running a studio, I look at it entirely in the business and also like creative way of like, look at what I'm doing now, shooting a podcast, and but when you have something that is like that, you just have your business mindset onto it and have that creative mindset free to explore different things, being, content creator or, making music. It's just such a relief, because I think that's why I was battling so much in the past. It's like I was forcing it too much to make music, because I was looking at others. I was like, man, this guy's pumping out music left and right. I can make it better. It was just like I was looking at others rather than looking at myself and appreciate what I did have in front of me. And I had a lot. And I think I didn't appreciate it, at some points, not at all. I was just like, man, if I had this, if I had this outboard gear, if I had, this income, none of that fucking matters unless you change your mindset about what you have in front of you. Because we all lack in something. There's not one person that is perfect, absolutely perfect. We might be like, oh, person is perfect at this, but they lack that. And I mean, everybody's gonna lack on that. It's just human beings. That's what's beautiful about people, is that there's a little bit of something that they lack, and that's their imperfectness. And to me, I love that. I love finding that with somebody, or be able to converse that with somebody. I think the last podcast I was talking about was just having that real conversation with other people. And with music, that's what's so great about music, is you can have that without even saying a word. What I mean is, you can play music in the background and you can both cry. You can both laugh. You can both just have a neutral feeling, but there is a reading from it. Like if I see somebody listen to a song and they're crying, I can tell that something is very touching for that song. It means a lot to them, because especially that kind of emotion, that's a very, very deep emotion. I mean, so I think that's what music is so beautiful, and people want to, shit on it and be like, oh, there's so much music being pumped out. Actually, it's a good fucking thing, because now everybody can have their own little taste. Like, they don't have to always eat the same shit over and over again. Before, in the past, it was more controlled. People weren't able to choose what to listen to on the radio. They would always been forced to listen to stuff. And now it's like there's such abundance of it that everybody can have their share. And that's how I look at it. I think it's, especially doing these breakdown videos, just coming across with so much music. There's so much music that's coming out each freaking day. And it's not just Fridays. It's like every freaking day someone's releasing music from all parts of the world. And so being able to have access to that, I think that's such a precious thing that we don't appreciate. And I didn't before, to be honest. I was just like, man, there's so much shit. Yeah, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of shit. But what I think is shit might others think it's treasure. That saying one man's trash is another man's treasure, So going back to splitting the mindset of creativeness and business, I think it's such a I'm so appreciated by that. I can split my halves of my brain to be like, you know what? I mean, once I'm done, or once I get off from the studio, I'm gonna go be creative. And to me, in the past, I always felt like I need to be creative. I need to be creative all the fucking time. I was just like, man, I gotta be able to create something right here. I'm wasting time not creating. Why am I not creating? And it was just being forced so much to the point that it felt ungenuine. Same with the breakdown videos. I was forcing myself to be to pump out so many breakdowns without being like, to be like really detailed with you guys, but like, hey, this song is fucking killer because this specific part, or this song entirely makes me feel this way. Let's fucking dive in together. And don't get me wrong, there was songs like that, but I could tell at the end I was just being a little bit redundant, a little bit like, I don't know, just like there was so many, I was using the same terminology for a lot of things that, that were describing the same thing. And I don't know, to me, it just, maybe I felt at the time it was ungenuine just because I wasn't being creative on my word choice. So, but now, I mean, if like I'm just realizing now, like, maybe that's how I really felt at that time when I was listening to that song. That's maybe the choice of words that it really felt to me that I felt about this particular part of the song. So that's nothing wrong. It's just being able to continue that effort. And I think physically I was able to continue making videos and making content, but mentally I wasn't. Mentally I wasn't there. Mentally I wasn't satisfied. Mentally I wasn't matured enough to be like, hey, you're still in a work in progress, and it's okay to take yourself back and analyze it, but continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to, be better each day, or try to be better. And so I wasn't letting myself do that. Now I am. Now I'm forgiving myself for a lot of things. And being out for over a year, it's hard sometimes. It is hard to be like, man, I just wasted a year. But it wasn't wasted. It was that time. It had to be invested. It had to be invested to myself. And so for you guys, same thing with music. If you're getting burnt out and you feel like this is ungenuine to yourself, and you don't feel like you're at that point of happiness, take a break. Don't have to be forced. Don't feel like you have to be forced to constantly be in such a conveyor belt. Because I'll tell you what, your true fans will call you out. They'll be like, man, that is fucking shit. It sucks. It really does suck to hear that. But who gives a fuck, really? Who gives a fuck if what their reaction is? As long as you're cool, as long as you're good with yourself, that's all fucking matters. That's all matters. And what's so great about running a studio is you see that. You see that with musicians when they're in rehearsals and they're just like practicing, going. Each take doing the same fucking chord progression. And then they're like, oh, we're good. I got it now. It's just like that split mindset. And I love that. I love that realization of being like, okay, cool. I had to go through that. I had to go through that struggle of finding that chord, or learning how to play that particular part. And it was a bitch. I hated it. It was frustrating, but I got it now. I'm fucking... no one can stop me now. And so I'm just like, right now I'm like talking to myself because there's no fucking nobody here, but it's just like right now I'm realizing it's like, oh, like maybe that's why I have energy after work to be like, all right, let me do some stuff. Because I'm seeing people struggle, but then they work out their struggles. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're like, hey, all right, we got to change it. But there's always progression. And in a rehearsal studio, you always see progression in some way. Because they're trying to get to that point that it's perfect or just right for them. So they're taking that time, taking those little details, dedication, make sure everything sounds right, everything looks right. And so being able to see that, observe that, and I respect that so much. And so I think it just carries away from after work when I want to be creative and do music and just better my life in general. Just seeing that when people struggle, but then they get through the struggle. It's like I think that's why it's watching people play video games is such a big thing. It's like seeing someone being stuck in a challenge in real time and seeing them solve that or achieve or even get defeated, but then rise up to win a level, to win awards. And it's that observation of seeing somebody do that in front of you. it's very inspiring. I mean, that's why I can't shit on people, observing people achieve stuff. Like, I think that's why sporting events is so huge, because you're seeing a group of people, or one person, or two pairs battling out to achieve the biggest reward is to win, right? You want to win. Unless you go into event, I mean, at least at that level of competition is they want to win. They're not there to, they'd be like, all right, that's fine, we lose, I don't care, and all that stuff. Like, they're like, oh, I hope we lose. There's, at that level of competition, you just don't. They don't have that mindset, and so with music, it's the same mindset. You want to win. You want to, for that song to hit you the way that you want it to hit you. At least for a music producer, you want that kick drum to poke out in the mix. You want that bass design sound that you made to, in your head, resemble in a tangible way. And that's a win. That's a win when you do it. That's a win that you achieve, because you went through so much hell trying to figure out how to create a specific sound. That's why these YouTube videos of like how to make Skrillex's bass is like so big in the music world, or music producer world, is just because of that. You want to figure out the hardest thing. You found someone that did it. You found someone that took that time to figure out that missing piece of the puzzle. And now you're observing, see one by one how they constructed, and yeah, it's a great feeling. It's such a, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a amazing feeling to observe that. Hey guys, ever wonder where I record my videos or podcasts? Most of the time, it's at Design Sound Studio. It's about 3,000 square feet with a full lighting rig. No need to spend thousands of dollars for lighting rentals. We got it all set up for you guys. And we even have 2 flex rooms that could be used as makeup rooms, dressing rooms, or even a production office. I'm telling you guys, it's a perfect spot if you guys want something private without being interrupted by a noisy drummer next door. Our space is just gonna make your production rehearsals run so smoothly. And the best part is we're open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So if you're ready to book your session, head over to designsoundstudio.com and get a quote from us today. I was having dinner with an old friend, and her and I, like, it was such a awesome conversation. Like, we were in a table. I don't know if this probably, it came off probably rude, but I didn't care because we were just having such an amazing conversation. She was on the opposite side of the table, and it was a big group, and we're having dinner, and her and I are just chopping it up. We both lost tons of weight. We're both, going through, we finally found the career that we're looking for. We're still trying to get better, and we were just having, like, it was almost weird. Like, we were having a conversation with a room full of fucking people eating and all that stuff, but we were like zoned in on our conversation, and it was so beautiful, because we got to listen to each other and see how we progressed throughout the years, and the battles we were facing, and battles that we defeated, the battles that we're still trying to work on, and advice on certain things, and learning about one another. We're like, how'd you get yourself through this, and what was that experience like? And it was just like such a fucking, I haven't had a conversation like that with a close friend in a very long time. And it made me love and admire that person so much more. And it was just like, oh man, it was, yeah. If you have that chance, make a phone call from a friend that you really admire so much. You see them grow, and call them up and just start a conversation like that. Because I swear, guys, it's gonna inspire you so fucking much. Because she absolutely did. Because she's been through a lot of stuff, and I can relate. And even if I couldn't relate, I could understand. I could have compassion for it. And it was great to hear all that, because it helped me learn how to be compassionate as well. And that's what I'm saying. I fucking love conversations. Like, I was just like going through my old podcast and being able to interview, Marcus, and with his films, or you know other artists like Angela. It was just like, it was so, man, I was like, man, I fucking miss those conversations. I miss having like really deep conversations with especially creative people, because not all creative people, but most are, they're able to tell a story in a way that I could see a film being made. And I love that so much, because I do that with music. So anytime I make a song, I'm like, what would the music video be from this? Or what would the movie look like? Because music video, yeah, they're great, but like a film, like a good film, like the start to finish. I feel like, to me, I think of it more of a film than a music video, is because a lot of films are like an hour and a half, right? And you have to put your best product in within that, and be able to connect your artist or your audience throughout the whole time. You will have some stumbles here and there. That's just part of it. No one's going to be consistently connected to your material. But if you're able to paint that picture, bring them to, or being able to display, or I don't know if this is a word, imaginize your sound to your audience. I think that's such a creative tool. I think that's just a superpower, to be honest. And I try to do that with music, especially with its sound design. Like, what does this sound? What do I imagine with this sound? What's the object that looks like this sound? That looks this sound, or what can I paint a picture from this whole project, this whole album? And I love that. I love when artists do that, when they just like plan out their album to be like such a great storytelling, great masterpiece. The artwork is just like, it's like a museum. And so that's what I'm trying to do with my content now. Just being able to paint a picture, especially with my music, and help you guys paint a picture. Let me hear what you guys are coming up with, and let me see what I can imagine. And I think that's why I love these breakdowns so much, because I think of that. I listen to it and visualize it, or listen to it, a certain sound, and I try to describe the texture, describes to be somewhat tangible, to be understandably under my perspective, which I feel like not everybody's gonna understand it, but at least if I can share that, and you can be like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of unique. I didn't think of that. And same, I like when other people describe certain things, and I'm just like, you know what? I never thought of that perspective. I mean, that's really cool. That's you know what? You're right. That is a sick sound. So yeah, guys, it's yeah, just going back to the be able to split mindsets is a to me is I think it's going to be a key to my success, is being able to split that mindset, being able to understand what my limits are and what I can progress on, and being able to be compassionate for myself and others when things are just not moving the way I want to. Because they will. It just takes time, or it's just not meant to be, and then I'm okay with that. I'm okay because I'm still gonna move forward and do the best thing I can. So, yeah, I just want us to be I just want to be better each day, and I can, and you know, yeah, man. I'm just that it's funny to be able to sit down and just talk out loud and just hear myself, because I'm just like, man, yeah, I've been through so much shit and I'm still progressing. And it's because of the mindset, honestly. And so, you know, I hope with this podcast, it gives you a little motivation to, you know, reach out to loved ones and just get a little bit of insight, get a little motivation, get a little bit of compassion, love, and yeah, guys, I'm just so pumped of these, you know, the future, and if honestly, if you guys want to be, I would love for you guys to be part of the Suga Crave Club. That's going to be a great community when it comes to like sharing and stuff like that. I'm going to have openings for people to submit music, and we'll do like our separate live stream just strictly for the club, that, you know, we could talk about music, the music that you guys create, and just, you know, just have a fucking good time and a great environment, just because that's just big, man. Just keeping the environment helpful, peaceful. And so this month, when you sign up to the Suga Crave Club, you're going to get an extra bonus pack. So it's going to come with a bunch of samples just specifically for the new signups this month. And it's going to be great, guys. I'm just so pumped. There's going to be new content, a lot of yeah, just that energy that I just put in into this podcast, and the mindset, and just that outlook of life. It's going to be into that content, and I just know that you guys will like it and appreciate it. So, but yeah, I want to thank you guys so much once again, just for continuously supporting the podcast, the Suga Crave Club. You haven't signed up, sign up now. But the people that sign up already, thank you so much. And the future members as well. I'm looking forward to have you guys there. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to this. And hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one.